Welcome on stage my co-host, and before I do that, I want everyone, if you're at the back, kindly come in front, because no sooner have we begun than the sun. So kindly come in front. So if you were here yesterday, can I see your hand up? Oh, amazing, and you came back. Wow. And I hope it's not because of the tea. There's a lot of tea going around every now and then. If you're here for the first time today, your hand up. Amazing, good. Don't feel shy, don't feel shy. We love visitors. So if you're here for the first time, you can see our deacons at the tent outside. That's what our churches do. I feel it's, you need to go to a new church every Sunday so that you're called. We have a tent, we serve tea, and if you'd like to join us, it's always so welcoming. Yes, I'm waiting for everyone to get settled so that we go live. We are going live. There are some people who are watching us online, and they are really missing. They are really missing. Other than the tea, the workshops that are going on the sidelines, I think we're good. So I think we are ready to start. If we're ready to start, clap once. Hey, you're not ready, man. You're not ready. If you're ready to start, clap once. If you're not ready, clap twice. Yes, I guess we are ready. That shows we are really ready. Yeah, so I'm waiting for everyone. Look at those ones. They are saying hi. You are late and you are greeting everyone. Nice. Yes, have a seat. Thank you. It's very African. You are late. All right. Good. Yeah. Yeah. We have seats in front. Don't be shy. In front, yeah. All right. Sema, we are good? All right, so we're about to start, and yes, let's settle down. Amazing. Amazing, amazing. So I think we are ready to start. So as we did yesterday, for those of us who are here, let's start with energy, excited, so that people online don't think that we're not having fun, right? Okay? All right, so that's what I'm going to come down, you know, and we're going to be so energized. Let's see what they are let them see what they are missing. Are we ready? So I'm going to come down. When I come down, just make a lot of noise so that they think, you know, this guy is the bomb and I get more jobs to MC. Anyway, that's not the point, but I think we are good. I was waiting for everyone to get settled. Here we go. So ladies and gentlemen, ululation. What is ululation, yeah? And jubilation and that African thing we do when we are happy. All right? We ready in 1, 2, 3, and go. Welcome to the second day of Africa. You are doing the woo. No, that is good, yeah? But let's take it now without the woo. Because, you know, it was a one woo-woo. It is supposed to be a lot of woo-woos. So when it's one, they know I paid someone to woo-woo me. All right? All right, let's go. For the last time. This is the last time I'm doing this. And I cannot believe I'm doing this. You came from where you are coming from, and I'm forcing you to do things. All right, let's go. 1, 2, 3, and... Thank you. Welcome to the second day of African Media Festival 2024. And today the theme we continue with what's next in media. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. If you're online, joining us online, you're missing a lot. Not only bottomless tea and coffee, but also we have awesome workshops going on the sidelines. So ladies and gentlemen, welcome to African Media Festival 2024. My good name is Njugush. Welcoming my co-host, June Gashui.
Hi. Even me, I want to see the people online. How you doing, everybody? Leo niko na energy.
Hey, I'm sorry. Hey, June.
Hey, Timothy.
Hey, June is looking good and it's not yet June.
And it's February.
Oh.
Kimani.
Yeah.
I like this color on you, man.
Thank you.
Are we looking like we had a plan? Imagine we didn't even discuss, but our spirits are aligned when we sleep.
Let them take a good photo. Nice, nice, nice. This is the photo that itasumbua, it will disturb. It will disturb. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Second day of African Media Festival.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, yes. If you are joining us online today, I don't know where you are. If you joined us and you're here today, clap for yourself. And thank you for being with us. That was for online guys. But it's okay, but it's okay.
All right. Well, it's so lovely to see all of you here. And again, we thank the people who prayed last night for a cooler morning. I think even the people at the back will have a better half morning at least half the day will be cooler. We hope the afternoon will be the same. And thank you for making your way here and joining us for day 2. We do have a big, long program as well today, filled with a lot of conversations. So just a couple of housekeeping things. Remember our slido.com? Does anyone remember that experience yesterday? Yes, the QR code. Anybody? No? No? I'm going to encourage you to find the QR code. There's one literally right at the back and at various other places. Please scan it. And throughout the day, please give us your feedback. It's extremely important for us to know how we can adjust as the day goes along. We got quite a bit of feedback last evening, and hopefully some of those things have already started to be implemented. Secondly, we will have a chance to tell you exactly what the flow of the day will be, but you already have your program, so please remember to keep that. Is there anybody who was not here yesterday? Who's attending and today is your first day? It's okay, don't be shy. All right, good. So we'll do some of those housekeeping things again. In the interest of time, I do have a good friend of mine who's in the building, and we have to release him shortly. So I'm going to invite to just offer some opening remarks for today's second session, the Dutch ambassador to Kenya, His Excellency Martin Brouwer, to come and address us and just say hello and tell us all the amazing things he'd like to tell us. Could we welcome him with ululations, as Timothy calls him? Thank you, sir, for joining us. Karibu, would you like to use this microphone or that one?
Well, I can use this one also.
Okay, thank you. You're welcome.
Good morning to all of you. You're all doing well? Good. Great festival on the media. Really a great pleasure to be here. Once again at the National Museums. Wonderful place to be. And a wonderful group of people to mingle with. All those who are in the media business, whether it is on the creative side, whether it's the journalism side, the information side, freedom of expression is really an essential part of a proper functioning democracy, of a free society. And democracies cannot survive and flourish without a free, independent and pluralist media. But it's not only about democracies. It's about human interest. It's about sharing information. It's about relating to each other. It's having an interest in each other, knowing a little bit of the other. That's all essential to be able to participate in a society. And when I came into Africa the first time, and I think it was now nearly 39 years ago, the first word that I learned, and I came into Africa in Tanzania, was the Swahili word, Ubuntu. Ubuntu. I am because we are. And that is the essential of what media and creativity is all about. It is being someone in connection to other people. And in that, I think you all, journalists, media, play a very, very important role. As an independent source of information, as a source of information that's factual, correct, as a watchdog, as a facilitator of public discourse and debate, of course. And in doing so, you can really foster civic engagement and build social cohesion. That is a very essential part of us all being, isn't it? This year is a particularly interesting year for all of us like me at the policy level and sometimes being a little bit close to the political level in my home country. But you know, this year we will have worldwide 65 national elections in 54 countries. And that will impact more than half of the population of this globe. So this is really a year in which democracy, elections, is very, very much in the front line. And the important role of journalists and media cannot be overestimated. The integrity of democratic processes relies upon the free flow of information and ideas, as guaranteed by Article 19 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. So journalists and media must be able to do their work independently and in safety. And in many parts of the world, freedom of expression is under threat. I don't know at this moment the number of death toll amongst journalists in the world, but already this year it is staggering. And if you pay attention to the media carefully, you can read nearly every day that the journalist had died because of his work in trying to get information across to other people. It is a very heavy toll on the profession. I'm ambassador for the Netherlands, so let me say a little bit about the Netherlands. Here in Africa, we invest in offline and online safety of human rights defenders and journalists to do their work. For example, via the Safety for Voices program. We're also part of the Media Freedom Coalition and the Freedom Online Coalition, just to raise awareness on this important topic worldwide with our partners. We really take this as a very, very serious issue. And although guaranteed by the 2020 Constitution here in Kenya, respect for the press freedom in Kenya is highly dependent on the political and economic context. We have seen it is not always easy for the media to do their work. Little resources. And there is this influence of the political class on the media. We see many politicians who are actually owning media houses. Does that help you to convey information to the broader public, or does that limit you? That's why this conference is so important. To strategize and share together and to focus on the innovative and creative perspectives that media can bring in. It's not only about the former media. It's not only about television and about radio and newspapers. There's so many other creative expressions that help in sharing information. It is about education. It is about sharing. And we all assume, by using the words that I just used, that the media can play a good role. And yes, they can. But media can also be manipulative, misleading, factually wrong, and done for the wrong reasons. And I can continue that list. That's also part of sharing information. So the value of media depends largely on yourself. It's your individual responsibility. It is the choices that you make. That's where the integrity comes in. And only the freedom to make that individual choice can guarantee freedom of press and freedom of media, and can provide access to honest, open, and factually correct information by the reader. So the interaction is very, very important. The media is a pillar in society that should not be underestimated. It is very, very important. It is the expression of Ubuntu. It is being together and making sure that what you know, also other people will know. But please do it in a correct and factually correct way. Because that's what we're seeing in the world nowadays, that a lot of information that's shared has the intention to be misleading, has the intention to be factually incorrect. And that is disturbing the spirit of Ubuntu. And I hope that that will never come through. Thank you very much.
Your Excellency, thank you so much for sharing those thought-provoking words. We have a lot of work to do. That I word is a buzzword that I like a lot. It's integrity. Happy conflict. Good morning, everybody. But very important. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, so we're going to do a very quick round of housekeeping, and then we'll jump straight into our morning program. So once again, you are at the African Media Festival 2024. We do have a couple of hashtags that we're using today. The first is our theme, What's Next in Media? So use that when you're posting your amazing photos and tagging whoever you need to tag. Please also use the hashtag AMF2024. And the third one is hashtag Africa Media Festival. So I think a few people have already posted. I saw some engagement online, but I think we can do better. The average age in this room tells me that you have good phones and you have social media accounts. Please use them so that those who have not registered for this year's AMF will make sure they do so and not miss out next year. Second announcement for you, I will repeat, is the slido.com platform, which we are using to receive your feedback. There are QR codes pretty much in every single tent on most of the stalls through the exhibition space. Please make sure you scan it and let us know what your thoughts are, especially when we release you into the workshop area so that we can also hear what it is that you're discussing. Third item that I would like you to do is please make sure you check out all the amazing exhibitions and buy a few things from these amazing people. They've got some great paintings, great photography, great jewelry. You can eat some ice cream. Some people had the whiskey one way too early in the day. I saw your behavior. Try and wait for the afternoon, okay? But try it out. There's some really amazing stuff going on back there. Timothy.
Amazing. And also, just when you come in at the entrance, we have the Fumbua booth, and also we have Baraza Media Lab booth just next to the media van. They are doing some interviews for the African Media Festival experience for the newsletter. So if you can have some time after we are done, you can always check in there. And also, if you're here for the first time, this is your constitution. When you're here, you have everything you need here. So in terms of where you need to be, at what time, we're going to have different workshops. So they are all in here. And also where you need to be in case you don't know where you are, there's a map at the back of the program. You can use your... here in Kenya, we had a subject in school called GHC. Now, if you did the GHC clap once, those are very old people. Yes, we used to have maps where they used to show us some beautiful maps. So you can use that here. And if you are a visitor, it's a map. So you just look at it, quite self-explanatory. So if you need to move to the workshops, you're going to go down using this route, or the stairs, or again where we registered.
Okay. Thank you for helping us with that. Yesterday, our theme was the state of African media. Today, we discuss and tackle the future of African media. We have several formats that have been introduced in this second edition. And as Chris said to us yesterday, it's an entirely new event. So we are going to have demos. Tell your neighbor, demo. Tell the other neighbor, maandamano. Maandamano. The color of our outfits today is no mistake. Timothy insisted.
I have nothing to do with you know, I wonder why I'm so energized. I realize I've worn orange. Anyway.
Demos or maandamanos are sessions that showcase the latest in technology, in products, and creative innovations. And they will last for 7 to 8 minutes. And we do have 8 of our participants who will be sharing or demonstrating or maandamanoing whatever it is that they have been working on. And this allows you as the attendee to have a first-hand look at really what we consider to be cutting-edge advancements and the minds behind them. So that's what we're going to jump into as we look into the future of what media has to hold. All right? So without much further what, Kenyans and my fellow Africans in the room? Without much further ado, allow me to introduce our very first maandamanoa. For those of you who are not Swahili speakers, that's just our way of saying demonstration. It's quite harmless. So allow me just to, at least it is in the context of AMF. All right. So today we will listen to Patricia Andago first. Patricia is a data journalist at Odipo Dev, and she's overseeing the organization's partnership with Africa Data Hub. This collaboration unites a network of data organizations across 3 African countries, and all of them are committed to empowering African journalists. Now, she's going to be speaking to us about the Silencing Women Project, which is an online database that they launched earlier this year. It's still early in 2024, so I love that this is fresh off the oven, out of the jiko, out of the fire, into AMF. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Patricia Andago.
Good morning. I think this is the biggest stage I've ever been on. Thank you all for being here. My name is Patricia. I work for an organization called Odipo Dev, and I'm a researcher first, data journalist second, but both complement each other, and that's what we do at Odipo Dev. So I'm going to be talking about our project in light of how we as journalists can be able to zoom out of the news with data. Yeah. So the name of our project was Silencing Women, and we started this at the beginning of the year. And what we are confronting here was femicide. For those who are not familiar with the concept of femicide, this is basically killing women because they are women. And UNODC has a very clear definition. They have 8 specific categories that they use to classify a female murder as femicide. Yeah? So we looked at the current crisis that is really escalating in the Kenyan news, the femicide crisis. And we were like, how can we tackle this? How can we confront this crisis? And our take was data journalism, what we are experts in. This was a collaboration between Vibecast, which is an Odipo Dev product, Africa Uncensored, and Africa Data Hub. So what exactly did data journalism do for this case study, and what can data journalism do for your own, content and the news that you have in your countries and the media outlets that you work for? First of all, we were able to illuminate the intensity of the issue. So the Kenyan news and Kenyan social media had a crazy buzz. Beginning of the year, we had a murder on 3rd January, and it was Starlet Wahu. She was a bit of a high-profile kind of case because her brother is a famous pastor in the country. So everybody was talking about it. But by the time we were coming up with this, a lot of people were talking about Wahu, and they were talking about someone called Rita Waeni, whose case was really sad because her body was really mutilated in a very gruesome way. But the reality was, between January 1st and January 17th, there were 9 cases. People were only talking about 2. So what this enabled us to do was illuminate that this issue is even bigger than we think it is, right? And even looking at the whole database, which is between 2016 and 2024, we realized that more than 500 women had been killed in 8 years. If you look at the cases Kenyans were talking about, it was probably less than 10 that kept making it to social media. What else did data journalism do? We were able to demystify myths. There are a lot of myths about this whole femicide issue. And we have even our own leaders talking about, blaming women's love for money as the reason why they're being killed. But when you look at the reality of what's happening, 80% of the victims are being killed in their homes by their husbands and their boyfriends. And people would not have known this if the data did not, show clearly what's happening behind majority of these cases. Yeah. What else did data journalism do? We empower justice movements. How do I play this video? Could you help me play the video? So we had a huge protest in the country on 27th. It was a collaboration between several people, and a lot of people who joined us were just people who were aggravated about this problem, to be honest. And a lot of people were carrying the placards with the data from our database, just really highlighting how big this problem is. Have we managed to play it? Let me try and my side. No? Okay, that's a bummer. But yeah, this was just a video of the protest and people walking around and carrying placards showing, the number of women who have been killed. So yeah, we've empowered justice movements. That protest had, in Nairobi alone, over 10,000 people. Across the country, it was covered in several towns, had thousands of people protesting against this issue earlier in the year. A few weeks ago, really. What else have we done? We've created a platform for discussion and policy reforms. You can see here, Amnesty stating our data, Amnesty International wanting to tackle the problem, stating our data there. We have police who have responded to the issue, creating a hotline for people to report cases of domestic violence or femicide. We have leaders who've come up with children's courts to deal with femicide cases. So all this has happened because, again, this was backed up by credible data. Right? Oh no, another video. I don't know if it will play. So this was just highlighting that we've, through data journalism, we've really improved the awareness and education on femicide in the country. So we've had across our social platforms, on Vibecast, on Africa Uncensored, it has reached over 1 million accounts. And this is where we are showing the reality of the numbers, the reality behind the cases, that it's husbands and boyfriends mostly killing these women. The fact that 67% of these cases are happening at home. The fact that it takes an average of 5 years to close the cases that actually end up in court. So we have improved awareness on a great scale through data journalism. Right. And I'll welcome you to look at the database here and explore all that we are talking about. Yeah, and that's it. That's my time.
Thank you so much, Patricia. It's okay. Thank you so much, Patricia, for setting the pace. And they say data is stubborn. Yeah, and we can be able to see, especially like that example of women are being killed because for the love of money, and then vis-a-vis what is actually happening. So I think that's amazing. So the second demo, and for the people watching online, we are still here. Kindly feel free to engage with us online, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at African Media Festival on our socials. And also we have a hashtag, African Media Festival, and also AMF 2024. So next on, we're going to have Simon Nganga talking about Blind Shell by Senses Hub Kenya. Simon Nganga is the head of product distribution and accessibility at Senses Hub, an innovation hub dedicated to fostering inclusivity and empowering individuals with disabilities. With a strong background in architectural studies, Simon's passion for inclusive design and assertive technologies drives his commitment to enhancing the accessibility and affordability of these technologies across Africa. So ladies and gentlemen, welcome Simon Nganga Tafadhali, the head of product distribution accessibility at Senses Hub. Ladies and gentlemen.
where Census Hub isn't just a name, but an embodiment of hope and progress. In this home of innovation, we believe that everyone, regardless of their abilities, deserves to be a part of a thriving society. We offer a vibrant co-working space where individuals can work and collaborate in an inspiring environment. At Census Hub, world-class research support meets cutting-edge hardware development and fabrication prowess. Join hands with our facilities, dedicated to transforming your vision into a tangible reality. With us, it's more than just creating. It's about igniting the journey from inception to market with excellence. Dive in. Let's bring your idea to life and launch it to the world. Census Hub, the home of innovation and a hub of inclusion.
Hi everyone. My name is Simon Nganga. I'm average in height. I'm chocolate in complexion. Today I'm dressed in navy blue pants, white canvas shoes, and a black t-shirt branded Census Hub. To crown it all, I'm extremely handsome. And that's not an affirmation, that's a fact, by the way. For those who are wondering, what I just did is an audio representation of myself. It's really important, especially in such a forum, to describe yourself, what you are wearing, so that it helps you to relate better with people who are visually impaired. So I hope you've learned something today. Yeah, and that forms the basis of my presentation today. I'll be presenting about Census Hub. So Census Hub is a research and development center for assistive technology. We are located here in Nairobi, and we just launched late last year. So in as much as we are a few months old, our background extends close to a decade. Census Hub is a brainchild of HopeTech Plus. HopeTech is one of the leading companies that does research and development in assistive technology. Assistive technology is basically devices or inputs that help people who have disability. Yes. So it was established in 2023 as a brainchild of HopeTech and a few other individuals. So our mission is to break down barriers, challenge the status quo, and pave way for inclusivity and accessibility. So at our stint at HopeTech, we realized that the African market has specific challenges, especially when it comes to inclusion, when it comes to assistive technology. Some of those challenges include one, unavailability. So you find that in the African space, there is a huge unavailability of assistive technology, and these it really excludes people with disability from access to fundamental needs in the society. So the second one is there is a very rigorous process between conceptualization and actualization of assistive technology. So you find that there are stringent policies, there are tough regulations that really hinder innovators from actualizing the ideas. You might have the idea, but actualizing it is actually a Herculean task. The other one is in Africa, we lack proper distribution channels. We don't have a framework that will distribute this technology. Most of them are outside Africa, and coming here is a logistical challenge. So the fourth gap that we found in Africa is you might have the idea, you might have the concept, you might have the blueprint, but the know-how of how to actualize it is actually a big challenge. And so that's where we came in as Census Hub. Sorry. Yeah. So that's where we came in as Senses Hub. The first thing we did is we created an innovation hub. As I said, we are located here at Spring Valley, Westlands. This is a space whereby we have a workshop that is fully equipped to support anyone who wants to develop an assistive technology product. Besides that, we offer a space whereby you can hold conversations around the space. That is inclusion and assistive technology. The other thing is we partnered with several organizations such as Ambitech, Touchit, and many other organizations to distribute their products and bring them closer to Africa. The third solution is that we formed a multifaceted team to be able to support innovators in their quest for innovation. So all this leads to one thing. We aspire to offer an end-to-end solution whereby you enter with your idea and you come out with a fully developed product. So we walk you the process of conceptualization, visualization, we research into your project, we help you develop it, we market it, and we distribute it. So our unique value proposition is that we are a distributor, we offer efficiency and an end-to-end solution. So despite the fact that we've been there for only 3 months, we've been able to gain some traction. So the first thing we did is we partnered with various institutions to distribute their products. The first one is Blind Shell. Blind Shell, they produce one of the most accessible phones. It's really expensive. It looks like a Mulika Mwizi, but it's really expensive. The other one is Touchit, where we distribute over 30, Touchit and Kibo from India, where we distribute over 30 products. We've also partnered with Ambitech. They produce top-notch white cans. So besides distribution, we've also partnered with various institutions to dive into the research area of assistive technology. One of them is Global Disability Innovation Hub. It's based in the UK. We have Innovate Now, University of Applied Sciences from Austria, where we'll be hosting their students in a few weeks' time, and then Access Austria. Besides that, we've been able to support Quinoa fully to set up in Kenya. Quinoa is a short form for no keyboard. It simplifies Braille, how to use Braille. It simplifies the Braille, like the Braille language. Typically, it will take you several months to learn how to use Braille, but with Quinoa, with one day you can spell the alphabet. Yeah. So this is the team that's behind Senses Hub. Above this team is the managerial team, and below it we have a team of professionals to support innovators. So in as much as we've gained some traction, there's still a very big opportunity in Africa. Globally, there are more than 2.5 billion people who need assistive technology. More than 3.5 billion people will need at least one form of assistive technology by 2050. And the unfortunate bit, and the sad bit, is that everyone is a potential person with disability. You're just one accident away from disability. So it's very important when we try and create a safe space, an inclusive society for everyone. So in Africa alone, there are over 200 million people who live in one form of disability. So if you'd like to partner with us, you can partner with us in various forms. One, as corporates, you can partner with us to curate and host inclusive events. We offer space, and you can also come to your space. We can offer training. We can partner with you on CSR projects because, as I said, some of these devices are very expensive, and you can offer probably as your CSR to sponsor probably one of the schools, and that will make a big difference. We help people with who have ideas to implement them. And the other bit is that you can partner with us to advocate for accessibility and inclusion in society. So as I finish, okay, these are our contacts. Sorry, I forgot to include the QR code, but you can reach us at info@censushub. So as I finish, we might partner with you guys. We might push all these products. We might be able to do all these things, but eventually, assistive technology is not the answer for inclusion. All products and services need to be inclusive. So it shouldn't be as big as you think. It shouldn't be as techy as it appears. But little things as little as your business card should be really accessible to everyone. Is it brailled? Are you confident that you can give someone who is visually impaired and he'll be able to read? Pamphlets, let's say for such an event, are they accessible to everyone? Your clips, do they have subtitles? Your events, do they have interpreters, sign language interpreters, as it is here? So let's try as much as possible to look into how we can make our products accessible to everyone. And with that, thank you very much for listening.
Thank you very much, Simon from Census Hub. I was hoping you had a few of those things on your hand to distribute. But thank you. I think you've made some very pertinent points. It doesn't have to be a big deal. It doesn't have to be so full of a lot of technology. But have we thought about everybody? Has everybody been considered? And thanks for that reminder. All right, folks, we're moving on with our maandamano. And our next one is from, okay, you know, I said yesterday, sometimes spirits align. Do you believe that? Do you believe that sometimes, that things are supposed to happen when they're supposed to happen, in the way that they're supposed to happen? Believe it or not, this next speaker went to my same school. Is that a coincidence or is that just like dope? His name is Wale Lawal. He's also trained at the LSE. Thank you so much. And that is the reason why the Republic, which is a print media publication, is not dying in an era where we think print media is a thing of the past. And so Wale is an LSE, Oxford, and Harvard-trained researcher and the founder of the Republic, which is a digital media startup providing Africa-focused journalism and digital media solutions in this era where dying print is a popular one. But the Republic in Nigeria is buckling that trend. Here to give us his demo is Wale. Put your hands together.
Oh, yeah. Thank you so much. I'm going to pretend like I know how this clicker works, but I'm going to embarrass all the schools that I went to because I do not know how it works, but we'll see how it goes. Okay. Okay. So I pointed and then it, perfect. Awesome. Okay. Okay, perfect. All right, thank you so much. Hi, everyone. It's so great to meet you all. I'm Wale Lawal. I'm the founder and editor-in-chief of The Republic. But before I go into what I'm presenting today, I wanted to start off with a question, right? So I can imagine that everyone here knows about or knew about the NSAS protests. Can I just see quickly a show of, I don't have that much time, so yeah. Okay. But how many of us knew that when the protest started, there was an entire traditional media blackout? We weren't hearing anything about what was going on. We didn't know what was happening, why it was happening, where it was happening. Complete total blackout. There's a joke that we have in Nigeria about the government, the government being the biggest ad buyer. And of course, when you're protesting against the government, it's not surprising that you don't see it in the news. But then that singular moment, that event really brought home the fact that we need our own media, we need our own representation in the media. And for us at the time, at that time, 2020, the Republic was still more or less a student journal. And I think for us, it just kind of brought home the potential that you're going to see today. So we've been doing this since 2018 as a student journal. But what NSAS did for us was really show us what it was that we could do and the gap that existed for the kind of media that we wanted to produce. And that gap was basically media that represented progressive, independent thinking, media that could hold people to account, media that could also represent underrepresented voices. And that kind of catalyzed us to, transform from being a student journal to I'd say, more mature media publication that was striving to cover ideas, policies, people, stories that were really impacting and shaping Nigeria and the broader African continent. And so some key numbers that I wanted to quickly share. We are now a team of 8 people. There are about 13 of us in total, but 8 of us work full-time. We work with a network of over 1,000 freelancers spread across Africa and the diaspora. We reach an audience of 80,000 daily, and we've covered, our audience is they represent about 50 countries. We've covered over 13 countries. And one other thing that I'm really, really, really proud of is that of everyone that subscribes, because we are a subscriptions-led publication, of everyone that subscribes to the Republic, 1 in 10 people pay to read what we publish. And that was very important for us because when we started and when we went the advertising route, they told us that we were too small, too niche, too political. But when the protests happened, we started getting messages from people who were based abroad and were telling us things like, I'm not able to protest, I need to be at work, I need to do this, I need to do that. But I see what you guys are doing, and I'm going to support it by subscribing. And so this thing of subscriptions in an environment where we felt that, is it exploitative, is it transactional, are subscriptions the right way to go? That moment really transformed how we also imagined what subscriptions could be into an act of protest, into an act of really funding the kind of journalism that you want to see, in the media. And at the moment, we actually offer a wide range of products, ranging from print and digital subscriptions to e-commerce. We started merchandising, and all of this really comes back to that print ethos. One of the big things for us as a mission-led publication was really connecting with our readers beyond the page. We wanted something that was physical. And so yes, people were turning away from print. We were in a very active media market where print is still very dominant. But the key thing for us was that the print experience was very low, and also it wasn't really something to associate with. We wanted to create something that, when you see it with someone, it represents something. And so we started with the magazine, and then over time, based on the investments that we made into the designs, into the illustrations that we had, we found other opportunities to monetize our content. Because again, we're really producing content that isn't necessarily advertising friendly or oftentimes corporate friendly. And since then, we've done, articles, we've done podcasts, we've done events, we've done research and editorial services, and of course, we've launched a wide range of merchandise from wearables to stationery. But the key thing that brings us revenue is our subscriptions. And what brings everything together is really ambitious Africa-focused coverage. I think the key thing that brings people to the Republic is the opportunity to really dig deep into what is going on the continent, whether it's in the arts, whether it's business and the economy, politics, science and technology. The whole idea is that you're getting content that is oftentimes long form, or it could be analysis, but it's really written and developed by the people who know Africa the best, as in Africans themselves. And for us, that is really important because that's what keeps people coming back. And that's where we often find ideas, and that's where we're oftentimes mining, what we like to call our content value chain. So you'd see, like in the previous slide, I had shown a podcast. That podcast actually started as an essay. And that for us is the long rope that we see with really publishing ambitious storytelling. Oh, sorry. And the opportunity for us, or what we've kind of set ourselves as the opportunity, is $1 million. And how have we come up with this fantastic number? It has to do with the problems that we observed when we were starting, right? So one of the big things that we realized was that even beyond protesters, the big thing or the big opportunity that could keep us going was realizing that Nigerians were very mobile, but also Africans of a certain age are increasingly mobile. But the issue that we have is that we don't necessarily have access to non-generic insights about the countries that we're trying to either learn about or trying to visit. And we saw that while print was still a very dominant market, people were moving away from it. But the big thing for us was that if we decided to chase a digital-first strategy, we felt that we'd be drowned out by the noise. We live in an environment where there's so many digital media brands, and how were we going to stand out? And so the first question that we had was, where is the sector where people aren't paying too much attention to? And that was the travel to hospitality segment. And why we decided to focus on that was because it's a segment that receives a constant flow of people. Over about 2 million people who visit Nigeria in any given year. And for us, just targeting about 7,000 of them and offering them a print and digital subscription, which costs $150 a year, could give us that $1 million milestone. And it's not an unachievable goal. And I think for us, as of this year, that's the big target that we set ourselves, and that really drives, what we're doing. And how does all of this work? It works in 3 major ways. Right? The first is that we're often partnering with people. We're partnering with airlines, we're partnering with hotels, we're partnering with retail stores or stockists. And the idea is that these are areas where print is already available, but the issue is that the alternatives are really low quality. So what do we then do? That's the next thing. We then offer a really well-designed magazine, a really well-designed experience that people see and that is noticeable and that is unforgettable. And then the third thing that we do is that we offer content that they're not going to read anywhere else. Whether we're talking about Burna Boy or we're talking about President Tinubu's foreign policy, we're writing articles in ways that you're not going to see anywhere. And I think the key thing that I wanted us to actually try out today was when you read any article in the Republic, you're going to see a QR code. And so QR code technology has really helped us to kind of make this a hybrid publication. And the idea is that you can read the articles, you get a nudge, to subscribe. You read it in print, you're able to scan the QR codes, you're able to go online. But when you go online, you get this nudge to register for a free trial. You can have a free trial, explore our site, and see what else we have to offer. And I'm out of time, but I wanted us to try that exercise. I wanted us to, scan the QR code that you see in the magazine, read it there. And I think one of the beautiful things about the way that we've constructed all of this is that you will find that there are articles that you will want to share, there are articles that you're going to want to save, there are articles that you might want to generate a PDF out of, and scanning them enables you to do that. And when you scan the QR codes, you're able to explore our website. But of course, when you scan this particular QR code, you're able to see all of our different subscription options, which range from a print and digital subscription to a monthly subscription to even subscriptions for students as well. So thank you so much.
Earlier when Timothy was speaking, he said if they only hear one, woo, you'll think the person was paid. So Wale, thank you for coming with your fan base. I think these must be people who have scanned the QR code. And thank you. I think you're all noticing that the demos are showing us how they have done it and what their thought process was. So thank you for sharing that. Now, our next demo speaker is also from Nigeria. His name is Joshua Olufemi, and he is from DataFight, and the product he'll be speaking to us about is Goloka. And this is, it actually means local is supreme for, goloka.io, which uses the power of localized data for journalism, empowering newsrooms to gain an in-depth understanding of local stories, while fostering a more nuanced and accurate portrayal of various communities. Joshua is the CEO of DataFight, and it's a media innovation and data for development, entrepreneur, actually, that's who he is. And he has 15 years experience working on data and investigative journalism. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Oga Olufemi.
Thank you so much for that. It's interesting that I have to go after Wale, but what connects what he's doing and what DataFight is doing is how we're reinventing traditional approach to journalism and using that together with technology. but I'll go straight into it. In 2020, when we started DataFi, the goal was to have data access inside and to also then use CB technology to resource the ecosystem. This was the time that the lockdown didn't allow journalists and every other person to, move around, get the story, do the muckraking, the watchdogging. And we thought at the time to partner with citizens who were on the ground and use that first to understand how the food price was impacting, how COVID was impacting food prices across the country. We worked across 12 states, and we were able to get about 3,000 citizens, to tell us how the food prices was, affecting their livelihood. Beyond that was how we were able to use the data they gave us to fact check the National Bureau of Statistics in the country about the data they were rolling out. That told us something. First, that we could use the power of citizens to drive journalism again. In an era where news desert, stories that were too national for citizens at the grassroots to connect with is what is thriving. However, misinformation, and stories that are not relevant is what is killing grassroots journalism, right? And we thought to ourselves, we could partner with citizens, one, not only to get the stories from them, two, to ensure that beyond making them data subjects, we could also get them to make money while providing the kind of information that is useful first to journalism, second to businesses, third to policymakers and development partners. That was the opportunity that we saw. And when we started doing this, we worked to get the data on food prices. We moved on to do the same for health. We moved on to do the same for mining. And we realized one thing kept coming up, how that we are able to prorate the price that citizens will get every time they collect data for us. So we thought we needed to add a wallet system into how the data that is collected for us helps citizens to also make money while impacting journalism, but also beyond impacting journalism, able to provide us the data to use for advocacy, accountability, and also market penetration for businesses that wanted to work in Africa, in and out of the continent. The market opportunity for us, looking at just Europe, Middle East, and MENA, we saw that the data collection market was about 90 billion. If you were looking at that, if you zero down on Africa, you will see that it's a 1.5 billion market share. And we thought if we zero down on the small, medium, and SME, or the SMEs, essentially giving them data that they needed, and also working to see how journalism can also take a slice of the pie, we could, on our own, as an organization, still make about 1.5 billion in the long run over a 10-year period, right? I'm going to walk you through how this connects to you as a journalism organization or as a business that wants to collect data on Africa. First thing is that every organization that registers on DataFi or on DataFi's Go Locals platform, you have a tenancy. You have an organizational tenancy. Your access to your data is separate from every other person. Nobody has access to your data. First thing is you're able to create your own content. Second is that you are able to run your campaign. The third thing is that you're also able to leverage artificial intelligence when you got massive amount of data collected and you're wondering how am I going to be able to analyze this, or how am I able to turn this into stories? Because that's one thing we've also found with newsrooms, ability to take data and use it to tell stories in real time. It's a big issue. That's one thing that you will realize has made data journalism a slow-paced, evolving genre in Africa. So the AI integration on the platform enables every organization that signs up to be able to quickly turn around the data that you've collected with citizens at the back end of that data collection and turn it around into quick insight, or if you like, create bigger deep dive content out of it. And that's the AI component, where even from the data design, the design of the instrument or the questionnaires, if you like, artificial intelligence can help you, think through this process and you are able to just edit what it has been able to give you. So insights can be gotten from there. I'm not going to take a lot of your time. And this is a wallet system that I've spoken about before. You can fund your wallet ahead. You can determine to pay your data collectors, your citizens from anywhere across the continent or beyond, as they collect the data for you. We're running the use case at the moment where we're looking at green mineral mining across three countries in Africa, DRC, Mozambique, Ghana, as well as Nigeria. And what we're doing with that is, we're doing that in conjunction with the Center for Journalism, Innovation and Development. And what we realized even at the start of this is citizens are better informed about things that we don't know about key issues of mining, health. We've tried to find information on mining, even in Nigeria. Insecurity is making that impossible for us. But citizens on the ground, miners themselves, are able to give us information such as who really owns the mining site, beyond what you have on mining licenses. They're able to tell us beyond what we are able to read, even in the pages of newspaper, what are the challenges that they are facing? What are the things that host communities are unable to negotiate with organizations or with mining companies that are doing businesses with them? And you can take this to every other thing. Nigeria is a country that is currently facing food prices, crisis all over again, 4 years after we were struck with the same thing in 2020. How are we extracting this information to give it back to policies, but to also help citizens make better decisions? This and many more is what Go Local wants to do in your newsroom, outside of your newsroom, in your businesses, and across development organizations that are interested in getting the real information on the ground. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. I also thank you for this, Sir Joshua. Thank you. It's okay, thank you. Thank you, sir. Yeah. And just so you know, my brothers from Nigeria, I was with you. Sir Joshua, I was with you. I was with you at the AFCON, and no, I'm kidding. All right, thank you so much, sir. And I think we are getting, it's so incredible what different kind of things that we can be able to do. And still continues with the next demo by Zenzele Ndebele, who is a journalist all the way from Zimbabwe and an entrepreneur, and is the director and founder of the Center for Innovation and Technology, site based in Bulawayo, Zimbabwe. Now, this particular demo is quite interesting. It's for a lady called Alice. Alice is an AI broadcaster. He's going to tell us all about that and how that is working for him. And ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome on stage Mr. Zenzele Ndebele, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning. Good morning. My name is Zenzele from Zimbabwe. I'm not the one who turned it on, it just moved. So anyway, I'll be talking about an AI presenter that we introduced last year called Alice. And the aim was just to find better ways of speeding the news production in the newsroom. I overheard, I was eavesdropping, and someone said, I'm here and these people keep talking about the newsroom and I'm not sure what the newsroom is. So I'll try, and the newsroom here I'll be referring to the workspace where journalists do their production. So if I keep on saying newsroom, just say journalists working in a space. So our idea was to say, how do we produce more content efficiently using less people? So that's how we came up with the idea of Alice. So we wanted to cut costs, and we also wanted to experiment. AI was a new thing. We're on online publication. So we then said, how do we jump into the space? So all the illustrations that you're going to see were created by AI. So there are so many uses that people are using on AI. So what we did, we did a bit of research, and we then came up with this character. This was our first Alice. So after having launched our first Alice, we then did an audience research. And the comments that we got, people were saying, she doesn't feel real. She doesn't look like, a real person. There's no human touch in Alice, We feel like... So we then went back to the newsroom and said, how do we do it again? I'm not sure that I can get the volume.
CCC knocks on doors to canvass for support. Citizens Coalition for Change embarked on a door-to-door campaign in the Cowdray Park constituency to canvass support for its candidates. The opposition party will be represented by Pasha Sibanda, who is the parliamentary candidate, and council candidates.
So that was our first Alice, and people felt like there was something that was not human about her. She kept on nodding, and she was always carrying a microphone, even when it was not necessary. So we needed to do something. So we then came up with this Alice. When we say we went into the newsroom, we went online, looked for services. Someone did a presentation yesterday and said, in AI, either you create, you borrow, or you buy. So we buy this Alice. We pay a subscription to use Alice. So she was a hit. Everyone loved her. And I happened to run. Okay.
Good day.
Okay, you can play the video.
My name is Alice, an artificial intelligence presenter at Site, and welcome to the Brief Bulletin. In our first update, Site will this week co-host a regional media conference, Future of Journalism Education in Southern Africa, on artificial intelligence and its future in journalism. The hybrid conference, co-hosted by Site, Namibia Media Trust and MISA Malawi in partnership with DW Academy, will run from October 3rd to October 5th, 2023.
Yeah.
On October 3rd, the conference will be held
so that's the AI is going to take our jobs. So we have just moved around people. So they've not... They've not lost the jobs, but I think the AI complements the work that we do in the newsroom. Because Alice will never go out and do interviews. And Alice will never write the script on... Yes, you can try to write the script on your own, but Tsepo yesterday talked about ChatGPT hallucinating. So there are always those dangers, Alice. It's AI biases. Each time I ask ChatGPT to draw an African newsroom, I always get these kind of images. People wearing, African attire. If I talk about violence, can you draw me a picture of violence? I'll get an African village burning. I'll never get violence in New York and in Birmingham because they always feel like it's only Africans who are violent. So there's the issue of and of course, if you ask AI to draw the devil, you know what color it will be. So there's also the fear that people say, AI is taking our jobs, but we believe that AI is complementing what we do. There is the politics of pronunciation. Alice is not able to pronounce. I am Ndebele speaking, so there is a lot of clicks. You can't say ixoxo, uqaku, isicathulo, ingcebetu. Alice can't pronounce all those words. So what we...
Interesting. And unfortunately, some of you have been chatting with him. But this is quite interesting. Thank you so much. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we move on to the method kit now. From AI, we go to podcast. The last session we had yesterday, we had a live podcast recording here, and it was amazing. So, ladies and gentlemen, we go to the next demo by one Irene Mbaya, head producer at Radio 47 and voiceover artist. Irene Mbaya is an award-winning producer who is currently the head producer at Radio 47 and voice over artist. She's also a trained podcast trainer working with DW Academy. She has been in the media industry for close to 2 decades in various capacities. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome on stage Irene Mbaya.
Yeah, that's good. That's fine. Yeah, that's good. That's fine. Yes, perfect. So, how many people would like to start a podcast? By show of hands. Oh, Kyle, you've got some work cut out for us. All right. Besides being a radio producer at Radio 47, I'm also a podcast trainer trained by DW Academy. So we noticed over time that the number of podcasters and the number of people listening to podcasts has really, really grown. And there's this assumption that when you want to produce a podcast, it's quite easy, but it's not. It takes a lot of time to plan, a lot of time to think through the concept, to come up with an idea. It is not just easy. You can't just get into a studio, and you have your microphone on, and you have a podcast running on AfriPods or on Spotify. It is not easy. But as you look at this graph, you can see that the numbers have grown from 2019 until today, right? So we have a short recording that we shall be able to introduce the method kit for podcast. Before we play that, before we play that, let me give a brief background on the method kit for podcasting, right? So we've been doing quite a number of trainings as a DW Academia. We did quite a number of them in Kenya, and then we did Tanzania, and we felt that there was a gap somewhere in one of the tools that we're using. So we decided, I think it's about time that we came up with a tool that would really help us get down into the nitty-gritties of podcasting. So we talked to all the podcasters and everyone else that we had incorporated into the podcasting that we had used in the trainings, and we told them, come up with something that we called a brain dump. Give us 60 words that talk to you as a podcaster, as a trainer, as a journalist. What talks to you about podcasting? So we got 60 words. And from those 60 words, DW Academia and the Swedish Method Kit organization, then we came up with a method kit for podcast. So let's listen into the video. It explains into detail what method kit for podcast is. There's no audio? Okay. There's no audio from... All right, so let's just go on. So from the method kit, what you see is it has 61 cards. I think I should have them somewhere. Before we go to the number of the many languages that we have, let's go to the next slide. There, no, just go back. Yes, there. If you look at this, what the method kit for podcast is, it's a shared language for podcasts. So we give you 3 steps. You either develop, you start from developing, then you go to publishing, then you go to producing, then you go to publishing, right? So if you look at this, it has quite a number of cards onto the develop before you go to producing. You can either think about accessibility. How do you access your guest? How do you brand your guest? Or how do you want to brand this? What business model are you looking at doing your podcast? What's the impact that you're looking out to achieve out there? How are you going to pitch this? If you're looking for guests, how do you pitch your podcast? How are you looking to pitch it to the people that you want to listen to? Then again, when you come to produce, what is the audio quality that you're looking for? I said it takes quite a lot of time. You need to invest in time, you need to invest in equipment. You need to look at the audio quality. You need to look at a budget. It's quite expensive at some point to do podcasts. How are you editing? Are you having a team or not? The method kit for podcast is going to help you to think about, well, you're coming up with that concept throughout the whole planning and the whole of conceptualizing that idea that you have. And then, of course, at the end, you have to look at the publishing. What platforms do you want to put your podcast out there? We also have the method kit podcast wheel. This is basic. It just shows you how this wheel It just gives you a direction from develop, produce, publish. If you look at it keenly, hello? If you look at it, is this on? Yes. If you look at this keenly, you can see if you're developing, there's growth. You start from explore, you explore the idea, you explore the concept that you have, you look at the format, and then you look at the growth. Then you get into production, how you're managing your time, how do you prepare, how do you record and edit, and then you look at how you go to publish, there's reach out, there's legal, there's explore. I'm sure people will be asking about legal because the sites that you will want to publish, and it is not just easy to just get onto a platform. There will be a session with AfriPods later. Of course, she'll tell you about how to monetize, but at the same time, you could ask, is it just easy for you to just wake up and put your podcast on their site? No, there are legal implications. This is in terms of, have you gotten consent from the people that you've done your interviews from? Are they accepted for you to be able to do that? So think about using the method kits for podcasts because this is going to help you to be able to look at all the aspects of podcasting, the intro, the outro, the pilot, the returning elements on your podcast, the purpose, the pitch, originality, the name, the language, the tone, all the things that you can think about when you want to do a podcast. Let's move to the QR code where you can scan your code and you can be able to get the full kit of the method kit for podcasts. Yes, you can scan your QR code right there, and you can be able to get the knowledge guide, you can get the wheel, you can get a podcast plan, then you can get a shared language for podcasting. And then, of course, in the afternoon, you can find us around the grounds, and then you'll be able to see a sample of it. Then you can also join us on the Pod Circle. The next slide. You can join us on the Pod Circle, where we have meetups. This is our hope that we can be able to get many places with the method kit. So you can join us on a monthly newsletter on the Pod Cycle and a global podcast meetup. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Irene Bayer, for the method. I think the truth is there are very many people who have podcasts, and there are very many of them that are not great because we have not followed we have not done our due diligence. And the lawyer in me is very happy that legal is on this wheel because it is extremely important. And most of the conversations I have in my firm are because people didn't consider that. So thank you for sharing those thoughts with us. Next up, as we continue in our conversation, Sebastian Davies Gida is the founder of and CEO of Creator. Nobody else had picked that name. I'm very impressed. Nobody else. Just God. Creator. Anyway, launched at the peak of COVID in 2020. And since the launch, this platform has hosted thousands of creators, both big and small, who use it in various ways. He's going to tell us more about this platform that connects creators of digital products with the services they need to build the businesses around their content. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the Creator.
I use this one. Hi, everyone. My name is Sebastian. I wear many hats. If you met me on Monday during the mixer and I was a bit chatty and a bit too much in your face, that was circumstantial. Some of these hats I wear are by nature. I was born, I'm a son, I'm a brother. But some are based on the circumstance. But also, if you remember me from the mixer, you need help because I was not there. Anyway, let's talk about content creation. Huh? I need to go back, sorry. So in 2020, everyone knows what happened. COVID happened, and it had people kind of rethinking who they are because, as we all know, for most of us, we are one paycheck away from going bankrupt, being auctioned, and not having money. And it's even worse for content creators and media creators. So as a budding YouTuber, my first video went on YouTube Live in 2011, and then I deleted it, and then the next one went live in 2013. But in 2020, I was like, okay, let me figure out this content thing. And if you are on YouTube, you know the threshold of making money. You need 4,000 hours of watch time. You need at least 1,000 subscribers. And from January to September, I had like 46 subscribers. And there's no way I was going to make money on this. And the landlord was always like, you said end month, what's happening? So we figured, you know what, let's get a platform where the people that watch, because from the comment section, you see people saying, I love this video, I love what you're doing. How can I support? But the problem I had was when you put your number there, then it starts getting used for other things besides the money aspect of it. So I was like, let's get a platform that can allow us to make money, because I had a team of people. Imagine having a team and you're not making money. So you're like, how can we make money? So if you get Creator, the platform, a platform where guys can create, monetize, and grow. As the bio said, I'm also the ESG lead and one of the directors at Kenkted, a trade and development company based in Nairobi. Basically what we do is we try and figure out how we can use trade as a way of solving problems. And so one of the thematic areas that we adapted was creator development. So with content creation, who can guess what the problem is? Who can guess? Money, yes. Yes, money. And in case you didn't know, the problem is money. And so how do we solve this problem? Before solving the problem, we needed to figure out, is it really a problem or is it that we need alternatives? So creating content is expensive, and I like seeing Summerbox here because they help guys create. The other bit is limited monetization avenues. The one thing that we were very clear was we were not replacing the available monetization avenues. So if you have AdSense on YouTube, we're not saying now stop using that and just use the creator platform. If you're making money through TikTok donations, although in 2020 they were not there, we're not saying stop. We're just saying besides the other avenues that you have, just add your creator link there and have guys send you. And at that point, I'm sure most of you noticed more and more creators were getting comfortable with the idea of saying, this is my M-Pesa number, tuma kitu. The other bit that creators need is upscaling and knowledge sharing. I see Njogush is in the audience, but the question is, how do I know what Njogush knows, especially from the perspective of making money? When it comes to creating content, we can all turn on the camera. Some of us have very bad podcasts, like I've mentioned, but some people listen to them. So who determines the value of that content? Is it us, the creators, or is it us, is it the people that are listening to the content? And so sometimes when the creators feel like they don't know what the value is, they'll be like, this clip is 100 shillings, but cheza kama wewe, meaning if you feel like you can pay more, add more. So the question is, who determines? And that in most cases, it's the people watching the content. So how do we solve this problem? We borrow. Someone said that with AI, you either copy, can't remember the other things, but you can also buy. But from a design perspective, we borrow. And having an engineering background, I wanted to borrow an element of design thinking, and the industry I went to was architectural design. So based on this image, everyone is gonna see their own thing. The guys who are gonna see the car, the bathroom, men will see the bathroom because they spend 2 hours there in the morning. But to simplify this, the concept we decided to borrow is called desire paths. So when you go to most organizations, there's always a notice, don't step on the grass. Yeah, because they've already demarcated the pavements where guys should walk through. But the problem is, the reason why that thing is there is because guys still step on the grass. So there's this concept called desire paths, where you set up the field and let it be and observe how people walk around and build your startup or your solution around already proven paths. And so By definition, it's described by Robert, that second name I don't know how to pronounce, as the parts and tracks made over time by the wishes and feet of workers, especially those parts that run contrary to design and planning. We can say all we want about design, about keeping the environment safe, but if we understand how human beings think and act, we can build better solutions. And so for us, even with Creator, this is the first time I'm standing on a public stage to talk about it, because the angle we chose was, let's build the platform and leave it there. No marketing besides the usual social media handles, and just observe how people use it. And what we've noticed is, yes, guys use it for tips and donations. Some creators sign up, create the account, and then put money inside and just leave it there. So they're using it as a savings platform. Some people are like, I sell merchandise, so pay through this. We're going to use it as escrow. Once you get your delivery, then the money can be delivered to us. The other bit of this is the create aspect. That one is third-party dependent because, again, we don't want to do a lot of work. So we are looking at partnering with people who can partner with us in the creation bits. We are hosting over 2,000 creators on the platform. And most of them are like, can you sponsor a podcast season for us? Can you help us create YouTube videos? And we're like, that is not a space we want to get into. We want to partner with people who do that and enable the ecosystem in general. The other bit is the grow aspect. Like I said earlier, what does this big creator know that I don't know, and how can I learn from it? And the other thing, even from the create perspective, we all make money when creators are uploading content. So the question to any telco here is, why are we charging people to upload content? And that is how you make money. Something needs to change, I think. Anyway, to build for creators, you have to understand them, the craft and the industry, and also work with them. So the next slide, that is my first video ever on YouTube. Don't worry, it's the same person. I've worked as an artist manager. Some of these creators, I worked with them in their early days. We understood how media works, so we'd run our campaigns through TV, we'd create content, organize creator conferences and events. Corporates have this tendency of partnering with creators when there is a crisis. So when there is a post-election violence, they remember, oh, artists exist. When there is an issue, they remember, but with the monetization, we need to have a discussion. So we went to South Coast for a peace campaign. I ended up on YouTube again interviewing creators. We've done documentaries on entrepreneurs. And last year, I was part of the YouTube Black Voices Fund. So the monetization bit, that QR code, I've noticed you guys are not scanning. So I'll just ask Baraza guys to send you the links. You can sign up. But the next thing we are doing, this is the sign-up process. You guys are lucky. Our developers just pushed the new version, so this is not the version you'll see. But basically what you'll do is sign up, you'll get a dedicated user link. And when we designed it, we were small creators. And so we put the minimum threshold of withdrawing at the very minimum. As long as you have 500 shillings, you can withdraw, that's like $2 or $3, depending on the exchange rate. You can withdraw the money, and we only keep 10%. The 10% is just to make sure the platform is operational. So what are the learnings? The learnings that we've learned through this process is, if you just listen to creators and media creators and content creators, they'll tell you what they need, and you'll observe how they operate, and you just follow the desired paths, make it easy. What's not on the presentation? I've already highlighted that. We need telcos to make uploading content free. As a journalist, I should not be paying for that. The latest addition to our stable is Africa Creator Awards. So it's going to happen in April. And if you have any content creator or media creator whose content you enjoy, like I said, you guys are not scanning the QR code. Baraza will send you this. Nominate a creator. We go live with the nominee list on Monday. That is on the 26th of February. Go-to-market adoption, social media, creator events, strategic partnerships, and super apps collaborations like M-Pesa. That's the team, myself, Pauline Kanana, who handles design, Marvin Hosea, full stack developer, Natalina Beno, and David Watibini. You can try it again. You can try not scanning it, but Baraza will send you the presentation, hopefully. All right, thank you. That's my time.
Check. All right. Thank you so much, Sebastian. And yes, the video has improved everything. Even the hair has grown. We see there's more light in your images. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. And I hope that you guys can. I don't know that you caught the subtle hints, but I don't know. Try scan the. Just try scan this QR code. All right. I want to try something with you as we invite our next speaker. Try and say this. Sema, sema. Or sawa, sawa. For those non-Kenyans, do you know what sawa, sawa means? Have you been taught? Ask the person next to you what is sawa, sawa. Have they told you? Some have lied. You're laughing too much. It's not that big. It's not that interesting. But this next presenter is also a musician. He describes himself as many things, but he is the founder of Semabox, which is Africa's largest podcast producer currently, and Plug and Play Facility. He's a Kenyan thinker, an artist, a creative entrepreneur who has worked in music, and that Sawa Sawa is one of his songs. And he's also worked in film and theater. He is the founder and CEO of Semabox, and his name is Dan Aseda, and he's coming up to speak to us about Sema, Sema. Put your hands together for Dan Aseda.
Feedback. Okay. Hi, it's a pleasure to be standing here to talking to you guys. My name is Dan Aseda, as Juna said. She may have overstated my abilities, but I'm glad she does that because we are friends. I want to talk about Semabox, which is a project that we started 3 years ago in collaboration with the Baraza Media Lab. And our goal was to find a way to make it easier for creators to make content constantly, and then also for them to build community on the path to monetization. And the thing that we are solving for, challenging the idea that has been there before, which was that content was made by certain types of people, usually journalists, people, and it was consumed by a different category of people. And what the digital space has created is that now the maker, the creator, much more of how things are. Of course, there are problems with this, and there are also things that come. Who's handling the screen today? So just actually, round of applause for Irene, who's been working on this screen the whole day since yesterday. So Irene, when you hear your name, just go to the next slide. And so we're solving for the first concept that we are solving for. Yeah, you can go now. Next one is the idea of foreverness. That whenever you put content up, next one again, whenever you put content up to the internet, the idea is that this content will never come down, and your idea is there forever. This is important for two reasons. One is that content creation and history can now better rely on content, although the AI conversation is going to append that in a short while. But then second, which is critical for creators from our parts, is that when the global world thinks about creation, they never think about the creation that happens in Africa. So even when the stats are put, like Statista and all these other guys, they talk about 300 million creators globally. There's nobody in Africa because they are saying that there's 1 million in Brazil, in America or something like that, but 6 million somewhere, and nobody talks about Africa. But we know that there's more than 6 million creators in Africa. We know that, but that's in the global stage. So our idea is to that the representation of the people that are making content here is always there for eternity and leveraging the internet and digital content for that. And so this is some of the numbers that we've seen. I don't know what's happening with the numbers down there. But ideally, Summerbox is now working with over 400 creators from across Africa. We're active in 6 countries and have produced over episodes, I believe. Maybe the number will change. But what we are trying to do is make sure that any creator anywhere can have a technical partner to help forward with their creation. Irene, you can go to the next slide. And so these are just some of our top countries right now, and we've already added Zambia and a few other guys that are really doing exciting creation. And so the next frontier for us is to find a way to help people make some money. And Irene, you can go to the next slide. And if we can find ways to change the formats that things are being made in. This is Mark Masai, who's much more famous than I am, much better journalist than I will ever be. Mark is now doing a digital product in collaboration with Summerbox that lives online 100%. It's a kind of new-style news show that is happening as a podcast, but also as a news show simultaneously. It's one of the shows that we're really, really proud of because we're beginning to bridge what happens on mainstream media and what's happening on digital media. And with this, we've tried a few different formats, including some that we are proud that the rest is kind of picking up because we have. And so the last thing I'll say, I'll just hold on this slide, is to say that what's important, in our estimation, what's important for creators, especially podcasters and creators overall, is to put in the money that helps people get started. It's very easy to fund a creator when they're already big and they have...
But they have washrooms in the museums, and also behind the registration, we also have some. So as last demo, and also have other washrooms in the restaurant and also in the auditorium. Past the gate, you're right at the parking, right? And last but not least, more the day, Google Pinpoint by Google News Initiative by Ken Kiunga. He's a teaching fellow at Google News Initiative. He journalist for 12 years in broadcast, print, and digital platforms. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome on stage Ken Kiunga, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning. Good morning. Morning. Yeah, so this is the last demo. I'm going to summarize a 2.5 training in 8 minutes. So if you snooze, you lose. Yeah, but I'll leave my contact at the end so that if you need the 2.5 training, we can arrange that. So I'm going to introduce to you Pinpoint. Pinpoint is an AI tool. It's not Alice. It's Pinpoint. We still don't have a face. We have a logo though, so we're getting there. So I'll demonstrate what Pinpoint can do and what journalists, content creators can do with Pinpoint. So Pinpoint was created by Google to solve a problem, and the problem was especially for investigative journalists. That's where it started, but it has grown to other use cases. The problem that investigative journalists had was when you're looking at documents, for example, Panama Papers, you have these huge troves of documents. You have email troves, you have audio recordings, and before you actually find a story, it becomes difficult because it's thousands and thousands of documents. So Pinpoint is an AI tool that allows journalists to analyze documents and data so that you are able to tell your stories in an easy and useful way. So let me just show you what you can do with Pinpoint. So you can quickly search through thousands of documents. So you can upload, so you create your own account, you upload your documents there, and you can search across different file types. So these are the file types that Pinpoint allows. So you can upload a PDF document into one folder. Images. So images, you have received scanned documents, or someone has sent you photos of documents. Pinpoint is able to search that document. You're able to copy that text and put it in a Word document or a Google Doc. You're able to upload Word documents, slideshows, emails and email archives, audio and video. So when you upload audio and video, it gives you a transcription. So this is also useful for podcasters because you are able to also edit better and to find, if you're doing a story on as a podcaster, you're able to find the markers that you need. So once you upload the documents, it gives you a snapshot. So it analyzes. So this can be even 10,000 documents. It gives you a quick snapshot of what those documents entail. It tells you these are the people that have been mentioned in this document and they appear these instances. It also tells you these are the organizations that have been mentioned in these documents and also the locations. In addition to this, you can also search across different things. So you can try and see if there's any relationship between, for example, does this document mention Nairobi and Lagos in one paragraph? So it's able to pick across all these documents, whether it's video, audio, images, and also video or recordings. So if you're working as a team, you're also able to add people to the folder. So you can either add them as just be able to read the documents, or they can also add their documents in your folder. So especially for investigative journalists, sometimes you work as a team, so it would be good to be able to work collaboratively. So this is how basically the transcription appears once you upload the documents or the audio files or the video files. It gives you a marker of where the transcription has happened and the timings, and you can play that transcription and you can listen to it, whether it has gotten it right. And you can, even as I said, for images, if you upload images that have texts, it's able to read that and you're able to copy that text and put it in an editable format. It can also read handwritten notes. So if you take a photo of your notes, the notes that you're writing right now, if you take a photo of your notes, you can take a photo, upload it onto your Pinpoint account, and you're able to highlight that text and put it in a Word document or a Google Doc. So this really helps you in terms of saving time. So this is how the interface looks like once you upload your documents. This is a story on Congo forests, and these folders, these files have different kinds of file types. So this is PDFs, these are presentations, these are audio, and also handwritten notes. So this is a case example of how Pinpoint has been used in the past, and there are many use cases. This is Maria Ressa for Rappler. They were able to use Pinpoint to be able to just scan huge documents from the government auditor, and they're able to raise red flags on some of the expenditure. So another addition to Pinpoint is it's able to extract structured data. And what this basically means is you're able to you're able to extract data from tables. So this is some of the issues that journalists have, is being able to get the data from tables. So these are PDF tables, and government does that most of the time. Research organizations, you have access to this table that is in PDF. You're able to tell Google Pinpoint, extract this table from PDF to maybe a CSV file, so that you're able to analyze better. So, so you're able to highlight it like that. If you highlight it like that, you just give it a name, and then you annotate. You just identify the table you want to extract, and then it gives you that table from this example that I'm showing here. Do you guys hit the remote when it stops working? Or it's just Kenyan? It's a Kenyan thing. Yeah. Okay. So this is a quick example. So this is a Kenya Gazette, and most governments have these government publications. And you're able to scan, you're able to upload, Pinpoint into, you're able to upload such a document, it's scanned. And once you upload, so I wanted to extract this table from PDF. It's a scanned document by the government. So you're able just to highlight what you want from this table, and it gives you, yeah, so can you go next? Yeah, let's just go next. Yeah, so it does some analysis. Once you highlight the table that you want, it does at the bottom here, it works simultaneously. So it shows you what it's doing. And then it gives you the final output. You are able to extract that table into a CSV. Yeah, so that's one use case of extracting Pinpoint. And today, drums roll. I don't know if they are drums roll. We're announcing something new for the first time. Thank you. Wow. So dramatic. All right, so this is something that we announced like just 2 weeks ago. We are rolling it out slowly. It started in the US, UK, but progressively we also start opening it up. So we have started generative AI on Pinpoint. So you are able to upload documents. For example, you have a court document that is 400 pages. You can upload it to Pinpoint and you can query that. And it will give you, like you can tell Pinpoint, can you give me a summary of this document? What are the main points? And it will give you summary, just like that, what it's doing there. And then you can progressively continue querying that document and it will give you the sources. You can include sources. Where did you get this? Or you can even ask, can you tell me, for example, what are the key arguments or what are the sources? And Pinpoint will be able to pick that. So it will really save the time for journalists, for investigative journalists, for podcasters, for if you're in the newsroom, if you want to quickly transcribe a video or an audio, you can use Pinpoint. It's free, but you need to have an account. So if you need training on this, or if you need more information, leave my email here. That's my email, kiunga@google.com. You can reach out to me. We can arrange. It's free training. The tool is free. We can have a discussion on how we can have this training for you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ken. I'll send you my invoice for the drum roll. I'm going to upload it on Creator as well and make some money from it. Thank you. All right, guys, we're done with our Maandamano session. So I think I'd like us, just as we did yesterday, to give a collective round of applause to all our speakers. I feel like we were in everybody's bedroom today because they were sharing their secrets of the things they have been working on. And they got to show us exactly how these things work. So I don't think we take that for granted. Thank you for sharing your knowledge and your experiences with us. So we are going to prepare to break out, but there's a few things we need to share with you. So please remember whatever we are sharing. And these disco lights, we can keep them for later. We have a concert. I don't know what's happening with the disco lights, but we can have them on later on. So let's start with our housekeeping.
Yes, amazing. As I said, we just came in looking for more washrooms in case, because we're going to be moving around. We have one at the registration booth, also inside the museum, once you come in, on your left as you come in. And also we have one at the restaurant where we're going to have our tea as we go for the breakout. Down there. Amazing, amazing. So there is that. Also, we are reminded we have a chat bot. It's called bot.
Bot.
Chat bot.
Like short for a bot.
It's like an Alice, but on WhatsApp, where you can verify information. Because in this era, we have an age. We have a lot of news that some news is correct.
And others is fake.
And others not really true, which is false. So you can always do that. So there is a number, I don't know if it's going to be put there on WhatsApp, that you can be able to verify information. It's called an information integrity tool kit by Fumbua. It's a WhatsApp bot. Plus 254. I don't know about you guys, but iOS guys have a thing about when you ask for your number, you must start with plus 254. Is it a thing or plus 25, depending where you come from? As Android guys, they are like 07. You start with 07. So plus 254, 714, 347. Okay. Thank you.
And 420, 420.
Yes, so that's from Bua WhatsApp support group. You can be able to ask anything, real time, they answer.
Okay, great. We've got some workshops that are running again today and what we like to call conversations. So just to situate what's happening. Yesterday we had workshops that were approximately 90 minutes, very immersive, interactive sessions. And today we'll have some of those, but we'll also have an unconferencing style conversation set up. So these are participant-driven sessions. So these came from you all. And these turn the traditional conference format on its head. So we've asked you, our festival attendees, to answer what it is you want to speak about, and you actually did. So all the conversations in this format have been curated and led by our community. And everyone has the chance to speak and contribute, and you can look forward to a really engaging, genuine dialogue and exchanging knowledge, collaborating in an open and inclusive setting. So that's what is in store for you as we prepare to release you. We will ask that you come back at 4:45 into this main stage space. 4:45, 1600 hours and 45 minutes, 15 minutes to 1700 hours or 5 p.m. so that we can have our wrap of the day. And also there will be an innovation celebration hosted by Bloomberg. And of course we have a concert. I don't know if any of you stayed for the sound check yesterday, but it's gonna be some. Ladies, trust me, don't go home. Just trust me, you will thank me later. Don't go home. Okay, guys, also you, don't go home. Okay, we've got some amazing artists who will be performing later on this evening. There'll be an epic concert. So really, I'm going to do two things. I'm going to remind you of the oath that we took yesterday and the goal. And please remember to attend, engage in happy conflict if you need to, celebrate, to enhance your knowledge sharing, and to spark cross-disciplinary conversations, which I think we've truly honored here today.
Amazing. And to wrap it up, I think we need to let our online guys go. But before that, if you're watching online, kindly remember, next time, kindly register before everyone else, because you're missing a lot. Right now, we're going out for tea, guys, tea. And
bottomless tea and coffee.
Yes. So right about now, we want to let them go in style. So we're going to go back, but just in the middle, and then we're going to face in front for the camera for the guys at home, and then we're going to tell them we're going for tea. No, I'm kidding. We're going to tell them African Media Festival 2024 in a jubilation kind of way, in a jubilation kind of way, right?
In a jubi what?
All right? All
Jubilee?
excited? Yes.
I'm so ready. I'm going to practice.
All right.
I'm going to go to the very end, and then I can come back. I just wanted to say hello to everybody.
All right, let's do this. Are you ready? Are you ready?
Yes.
Hey, guys, you need some tea.
Yes.
Are you ready?
All right.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, this is the camera from online. Guys, thank you so much for being with us. It's been amazing. We're going for tea. But beyond that, also connect with us on our online platforms, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Tuko sawa? Are we good?
Hello.
Yeah. Are we ready?
And bye-bye.
Yeah, no, all of us. All right. Are we ready? African Media Festival 2024, right?
Then, can you catch those guys on that side? You can catch everybody. Jib.
Yes.
Can you nod, Jib?
All right, we go?
Yeah, let's go.
I want to go.
African Media Festival
2024.
That was not great, guys.
Yeah.
I'm not impressed at all.
Yeah.
What's happening?
2024. We have to put 2024, right?
But we also have to do it with energy. You said jubilation.
But you misled her. She said African Media Festival instead of 2024. All right, we're good?
Yeah, we're good.
All right, let's go. 1, 2, 3, and go.
African Media Festival 2024.
Yeah!
Sasa hiyo ilitoka wapi wewe? Yay!
All right. thank you. We can break out and meet you at 4:45.